Can you tell us a bit about your background?
I was born lonely.
Oh, wow. Is there an Arthur-Badoo school that we should?
No, I'm talking about my own family.
Yes, but
I was even acting.
Oh. Acting?
Yes. So I started lonely.
Wow.
It's our prayer that the church moves forward.
Good day and welcome. My name is Emmanuel Kojo-Opoku and this is Hope TV. On Sunday, the 19th of July 2016, the Hope Congregation, Sakmono Estate of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, witnessed the sun setting on a session and the sun rising on a new session. Today, our mission is simple. We would like to get to know the leader of the new session. She is the first female senior presbyter of the Hope Congregation since 25 years of service to the Lord. She's in the person of Mrs. Patience Arthur-Badoo. Mama, welcome.
Thank you.
And congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Mama, welcome once again.
Thank you.
How does it feel, senior presbyter Hope Congregation?
I feel so elated. At the same time, humbled. Because I didn't think about becoming the senior presbyter. I knew I had been elected a presbyter, but to be the senior presbyter, I didn't know it would come.
Well, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and once again, I believe He has surprised you. So, Mama, our mission here today is simple. We want to get up close and personal. Who is Mrs. Patience Arthur-Badoo? Can you tell us a bit about your background, schooling, hobbies, experience whilst growing up?
Thank you very much. I was born lonely. In 1952.
Oh, wow.
I'm the seventh born of my parents.
Wow.
Both teachers or educationists, I should put it that way. One child died before I was born. That's what I was told. So we were 3 girls and 3 boys. Fortunately, or by God's design, we were also all teachers.
Wow.
In different fields.
A family of teachers.
A family of teachers. And it was so interesting when we sit to discuss issues on education.
Wow.
One was a geographer, the other was a Frenchman,
Oh.
and I was a home economist. Another one was a general teacher, and the other was more inclined to the arts.
Okay.
So even in his teaching career, he was teaching drama, music,
Okay.
and those kind of subjects. And we were a very happy family.
I can imagine. Is there an Arthur-Badoo school that we should?
No, I'm talking about my own family.
Yes, but I'm saying since it's a family of teachers, should we expect a family school of a sort?
Well, if it's God's plan, it can materialize.
Amen. Amen. We look forward to it. Perhaps our grandchildren will attend that school.
Maybe.
So,
Amen.
Mama, growing up, let's talk about some of your interests and hobbies. Has it changed over the period, or do you still have the same hobbies as you used to when you were younger?
Okay. I think I've rather added on.
Oh.
When I was in the secondary school, I attended Wesley Girls High School. And I was interested in the arts as well. I was into music, but I had to drop it in the 3rd form. That is when I was in Form 3, because I couldn't combine that with my subject choices.
Right.
And I did, in those days, it wasn't home economics, it was cookery, needlework, home management, and so on. And that was where my interest was. only to later realize that my mother was teaching it. So a lot of the things I learned at home.
Okay.
Even up to the time I went to Winneba to do the specialist course in home econs. Sometimes my teacher would ask, Patience, are you not writing the notes? Before going to lectures, I had already written my notes. And then I had supported it with what I had learned at home.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't have problem at all with my classes. The only unfortunate thing that happened was during my final examination, I was so sick. I was writing my papers from hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yes. But God being so good, I passed.
Uncommon divine favor of God. We thank God so much for your life. So, Mama, as a girl in pursuing an educational career or furthering your education, were there any challenges back in those days, and what kept you going?
There were changes. I think I didn't finish with my hobbies.
Okay.
Yeah, so cookery or catering in general became a hobby.
Okay.
Even though I was teaching home econs after the diploma course, I was posted to Guatemalan school.
Okay.
And I was there for 17 consecutive years. Then I left there for Tema. I taught at Medas, popularly Methodist Day Secondary School.
Right.
Yeah. And I was there for 6 years. Then I went to further my education at Winneba again.
Okay.
There I did guidance and counseling, a degree course in guidance and counseling, because I was the school counselor. I showed some interest, and so the headmaster asked me to be the school counselor. So I felt I should do a course in it so that I'll be fully equipped and not just do any haphazard counseling. So I went to Winneba for that. Then afterwards, I did my master's program at Wisconsin International University College. And I graduated in 2010. Actually, it should have been 2009. But because I went outside for a seminar in China, on a national assignment, yes. So I had to graduate with those behind me. Yeah. But it was a very successful ceremony. So, combining my career with education was another hectic time for me. I was a district director at Lower Manya as well as Upper Manya. I don't know whether because I have twins, I always get the things in double. It was a very big district, which had been there for some time without a district director. So when I was promoted to Director 2, I was posted by the then Director General, Mr. Michael Nsuma
of Education.
So I went to the Manya district as the district director. And it was during my tenure of office that Ghana Education Service realized that the district was too big, so it had to be divided into two. And that was Lower and Upper Manya. But before I left there, I was still manning the two districts. I had to set up an office there, interview people, and posted them there. Yes, to take care of the other side. That is Asasewa area. Yes. And it's a very rugged terrain. To go there, it's not easy.
And to be a woman.
And to be a woman, sometimes you have to park your vehicle at a point and continue walking. Yes. Because the terrain is such that you may not be able to. And if your vehicle is spoiled, I think you can imagine what will happen to you.
But Mama, not to take you back, but was that your first job?
No, my first job was teaching at Guatemalan school.
Guatemalan school.
Yes.
And then.
Despite the fact that I had done some people teaching before.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That was the first official.
First official.
Okay.
And then I had worked with the State Insurance Corporation before during my long vacations.
Okay.
And then at LA. In those days it was LA for the clinic. Yes, now it's La General Hospital.
Oh, okay.
I was with the nutrition section.
Oh.
Yes.
Mama, that makes you a very versatile woman.
Very.
So it seems as if throughout your education life you did so many things and
Yes.
you combined it all together.
I was even acting.
Oh. Acting?
Yes. I told
As
you
an
one
actress.
of my siblings was into the arts.
Oh.
He was a playwright.
Okay.
He used to be with Arthur-Badoo and Co. So he writes plays and he will make sure I'm part of the cast.
Oh.
Yes. We were going around institutions, performing his play.
Mama, I didn't know this. Perhaps one day we'll see some of your acting skills come to play.
And then in the secondary school too, I was in our drama troupe.
Oh.
Yes. And we did an opera one
Back in
Christmas.
those days?
Yes. And I still remember.
What year was that?
I think 68.
Oh, I think I was still in concert.
68, 69. Yeah, that was Amal
Oh,
and
okay.
the Shepherds.
Okay,
Yes.
Amal and the Shepherds.
Yes.
Wow. What role did you play in that?
I was Amal.
Oh.
But, they made sure two girls performed each role.
Okay.
So that in case one is not able to do the performance, the other one will be there.
The other one will be there. So, Mama, within this period, at what point did marriage come in? And how did you fit it into the busy educational career? Because you mentioned you graduated from your master's in 2010, which is about 6 years ago. So I'm thinking you were married at that time.
Oh, yes.
The kids were in. How did you fit all of that together?
It hasn't been easy. It's just by the grace of God. Because when I started teaching at Arthur-Badoo, I was fortunate to be housed on the school compound.
Okay.
So I was in the flats. Before that time, Daddy had expressed some interest.
Oh.
Yes. I even questioned whether there are no women on the sea.
Can we ask when, how you two met? Or perhaps at another interview?
Well, I can tell you.
Okay.
It was during my late father's funeral.
Oh.
We had the memorial service. And I think they came home to greet the family.
Oh, okay.
And so that is how it started. So I was invited to their home.
Okay.
And we started visiting each other.
Oh.
Yes.
And
We wanted to do the marriage rites, but because I was still in school, we asked that he should hold on.
Okay.
So he also traveled outside to Glasgow to pursue a course there in marine engineering. He was already a seaman.
Okay.
Yes. And so after that course, he came back.
And you were teaching?
I was teaching at Arthur-Badoo.
Okay.
Yeah. So he approached my mom. My dad had passed away at that time. And the rest of the family. So he was accepted.
Okay.
And the necessary rites were performed. And that was in 1977.
1977.
Yes.
So, how does the story proceed from 1977?
From 1977, I remained at Arthur-Badoo till 1993.
Oh.
Yes. So I was there for 17 years.
Okay.
Yes.
I was born by that time.
I see. I moved to Teman in 1993.
Okay.
Yes. To pursue or to continue with my career.
Okay.
And that was when I went to Methodist Day Secondary School.
Okay, Methodist Day Secondary School. And at that point, you mentioned that you were practically the counselor, and then you decided to take a course in counseling to make it more professional, as it is to say. Did that ever border on a change in your career path? Did you always know that as a teacher you would have to do counseling somewhere along the line, or as and when it came, you decided to perfect the art or grab the opportunity to?
Okay. It will interest you to know that even when I was at Arthur-Badoo, I was doing it.
Oh.
I was the senior house mistress after being a house mistress before. So I used to counsel the girls. And some come home, Madam, we want you to talk about this, and so on and so forth. And then in town, that is former PTC, now College of Education.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a center there. This center was set up by the Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, and I was a volunteer there.
Okay.
So I worked with them for quite a number of years. I even went to Banjul for a conference on this, and that was when AIDS was rearing its ugly head in Africa.
Okay.
And just before that conference, I had gone to the UK, and I saw somebody, a renowned musician by name, the name has just escaped me, it will come back. So this man died.
Oh.
And we learned he died of AIDS. Roy Hudson.
Oh,
Roy Hudson, that's the name. So I picked a lot of pamphlets to read about this HIV and AIDS. And because of the work we were doing at PTC, we had a youth advisory center there, and I was the secretary.
Oh.
Yes. And so anytime the Planned Parenthood Association had any seminar, conference, or workshop, they invited me
to speak on it.
To speak on it. So when this conference was due, they asked me to accompany the programs manager to Banjul to do that. So I went with two others. One Reverend Omanakon, he was the immediate past principal of Kibi College of Education. I went with him, and then the programs director of EPAG.
Okay.
We spent some 2 weeks there, and I bet you, I never knew people were so scared of this.
Of AIDS.
Of AIDS. They were coming even to my hotel room.
Oh.
Lawyers, you name them. Madam, because I spoke on Gambian radio, they came to interview me just as you are doing. So in the news, a lot of them heard somebody, and they would come, we want to talk to Mrs. Arthur-Badoo. So I had to sort of summarize the pamphlet and leave it with them so that they can. There was a particular man who was so disturbed because he told me in confidence that he has been misbehaving, so he doesn't know whether he has it or not. He had it or not. And I told him, I can't look at your face and tell you, mister, you have it. So it's better you see your doctor. Go for a check. If you have it, he will tell you. And then from there, you know what to do.
Okay.
And so it was a very interesting seminar we attended, and we came back. And since then, we were always on HIV and AIDS. It will also interest you to know that when I was in Tema, we were having programs with other schools.
Okay.
And then after the course I did on guidance and counseling, I came back to Medas. But the district education office wanted me to be at the office so that I could coordinate activities in the school as a guidance and counseling coordinator.
Okay.
So I left Medas and came to the education office, then municipal education office. Now it's a metro office. So there I was on this guidance and counseling business with 2 other colleagues. Then all of a sudden we had our school health education coordinator falling sick.
Okay.
She had a stroke, and for the work to go on, my schedule officer requested that I add that
to your.
So you see, I've been telling you my duties have been double on my own. So I was guidance and counseling coordinator, as well as the school health education program coordinator. So for short, we said, no, the same salary. We used to call it SHEP for short.
SHEP.
Yeah, school health education program. SHEP.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was the SHEP coordinator. And as a SHEP coordinator, apart from doing the guidance and counseling programs with the teachers, you have to also do the SHEP program with them.
Okay.
So this hand washing with soap and so on, it was my schedule.
Oh.
And I was doing it at different fora for people to know why they should wash their hands. So,
okay, in addition to your counseling activity.
Yes.
So, Mama, at this point, we're talking about the family. Were there children at this point?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I started having children in the same year I got married, 1977. So my firstborn was born in 1977. Okay. And then I think I had 3 of them at Ukwakman.
Oh, okay. Whilst you were
before leaving. Even the twins, I was still at Ukwakman, but I had them, yes.
Okay.
No, the last 2.
Okay.
Are twins.
The last 2 are twins.
Yes. So if you split the twins, it makes them 5 boys.
Ooh.
Yes. The basketball team.
Mama, how was it? 5 boys, 1 mother, busy schedule.
And absentee father. Excuse me.
It's
due to the nature
of the
job.
Okay.
Because going to see took him away most of the time. When he was with Black Star Line,
okay,
it was 3 months, maximum 6 months. Then they come back to Ghana. But when Black Star Line was
no more,
they applied to join foreign companies.
Okay.
And with that, you go for not less than 9 months, sometimes 1 year.
That's right.
He has even spent 2 years outside before.
Mama, you didn't see him for 2 years.
You could imagine a mother and these boys alone. When your child is sick, you have to manage it.
And boys.
Everything. So I was the father and the mother at the same time, knowing that he's also somewhere reaping benefits for us.
You.
Yes. So this is how we have lived our life. So whenever he's at home, it's a fresh marriage.
Okay.
When he leaves, you are back to square one.
Well, on behalf of all the boys, we thank you.
Thank you
for your patience and the grace with which you have processed up.
It's by His grace.
So, Mama, let me say that as a woman and as the first female senior presbyter, and of course, with your background in counseling, you hope to be a role model for most of the girls, in fact, all the girls and the women in our congregation. And so, does that scare you in any way? Now, everybody will be looking at Mrs. Patience and her baby. Do you have any comments on that?
Okay, I would say I would love to be a role model. But it's not easy. It's not easy in the sense that you don't show yourself up to them, but they rather see you from their corners. So how you portray yourself. And I think I should sound this really very hard, that when you are given a position, it's not the time for you to raise your shoulders and lord it over others. It's a service position. Rather, I have to humble myself the more because I'm going to work with the tiny tots, children, teenagers, adults, middle-aged people, the aged, and what have you. So if you are going to lord it over them, I don't think you can even succeed, or I can succeed. So it's better I humble myself the more and seek their welfare together with the team I'm going to work with. Yes. And the church's interest is first. Even though we have to mind our own individual homes, yes, the church's interest should also be paramount. Yes, that is it.
Thank you very much, Mama. Talking about the church's interest, have you always been a Christian in the sense of giving your life to Christ, being born in a Christian home? How did the Christian journey start for you?
Okay. As I told you, we were an interesting family.
The family of teachers.
Yes. The family altar was being run by my late father. We call us all together and we do the family devotion. I'll tell you that sometimes he's also a musician.
Oh.
Yes, organist, musician, combined. So he can even call us as a family together, teach us a hymn or a song. And during those days, Methodist Church had programs like Sing Song. We were attending church services in the morning and in the evenings.
Oh.
Yes. So evening church service of 5 family will sing.
The whole family.
The whole family. So my father, he had his own organ, which he could fold. This Birmingham folded organ. So he put it in his car boot, dress like a lady. My mom would sew the cover for him, and then we put on kente, go and sit behind the organ, and then play the music. Then we will line up and sing.
In different parts?
Yes.
Oh.
Woe betide you. If you sing any Abochi part, you will receive the canes. But we loved it. So the first time I saw the Von Trapp family singing, I said, yeah.
You remember those days?
I remember those days.
So, Mama,
so music was part of me. And this is why I can't stop being in the choir.
In the church choir?
Maybe now I'll be too busy to be regular.
Well, perhaps the choir will not allow you. But
I think they will understand.
Okay. Mama, coming to Hope Congregation, when did you join the congregation? And
let me take you a little back. So when I got married, I was before then a Methodist, because the whole family were Methodists.
Yes.
So as soon as I got married, I joined the Presbyter Church, because I didn't want to go back and my children didn't know where to baptize them and all that. So I said, let me join my husband in the Presbyterian Church. So I joined the church at Mampong. So from Okrapman, I'll go to church at Mampong. But before then, I was with the Methodist Church just at the school junction. And the one who took me to the Presby Church was very often absent. But I tried to manage, because it wasn't easy mixing up with them. We used to stand to sing, and Presbyterians were sitting down to sing, and it was more
of hymns.
Yes, the vernacular than English. But now, I've been able to mix up well, and it's more or less the same way they do their thing. We also get up to sing.
Definitely.
Yeah, but formally, indigenous Presbyterian churches like a Gropon. Yes. So that was it. And you were asking about Hope Congregation. We joined Hope Congregation in 1993 when I came to Tema. It was in October.
Okay.
Yeah. early October. We were then worshiping at Holy Child Nursery School. And the day we came to church first, there was a program at the nursery school. So I saw a canopy erected in front of the nursery school. And I saw 5 choristers and the other members. I said, what? I'll join the choir. Somebody was pulling me to Women's Fellowship. I said, I've already decided.
The passion is with the song.
was pulling me to the church choir. So I said, I'm comfortable with the church choir.
Okay.
So I'll join the church choir. So we were introduced and I told them I'll join the church choir.
So Mama, from 1993 with Hope Congregation,
Yes.
you have been with the church
Yes.
choir till 2016.
Till 2016.
Mama, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Wow. So, have you held any positions in the
Yes.
church choir?
I've been the choir president on 2 consecutive occasions.
Oh.
Yes. And then I was with the evangelism committee. I was there working with Mr. Kwachi.
Okay.
The elder Kwachi.
The elder Kwachi,
Yes.
not the...
No,
Not your session member.
No. and we worked for quite a long time as well. And we had to insist before a new committee could be inaugurated to take our place.
Okay.
So we're then working with Mr. Ferry, yes, who is now at 18. And in those days, we were inviting the Challenge Fund to come. We're doing open air crusades at the main lorry park, Sakumono Junction. Yes.
How did you manage that? Because now the lorry park is...
Yes, in the evenings.
Okay.
And I remember inviting this lady, Auntie Ellen Jamraku from Dansoma.
All the way.
Yes. And it was so interesting. We were so excited getting people around at the station and then using the microphone to talk.
To them.
Yes. And then we had one also at 18.
Okay.
Before we started we planted that new church.
Was Holy Trinity.
Yes. And it started in Mrs. Ofosuhini's
home.
Yeah. It started Mrs. Ofosuhini's place.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember Catkisto Tumasi, yes, the very day we were going to start the service, he asked me to pray. And if I don't pray well, the church will not grow. So I told God, I want this church to grow. And here we are with the 18, community 18 church.
We thank God so much for your life, Mama. You have been very instrumental in the build of the church, and then the choir and
then counseling duties were also added during Reverend Erasmus Odonko's time.
Oh,
so I started long ago.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And because I had done a course in general counseling, I did Christian counseling as well. In those days, we did it with Hour of Visitation Ministries. And then afterwards, we did theophostic counseling and bereavement counseling with one Dr. Dunyo.
Okay.
Yes. So I attended all those.
Wow. So, Mama, let me just chip in this question. Yeah. With your experience in counseling, looking at counseling then and counseling now, I'm not limiting it to the Presbyter, to Hope Congregation. Is there a difference?
Not really.
Not really?
Not really. It depends on the aspect of counseling you are doing.
Okay.
Because we have one-on-one counseling. If it's marital, pre-marital, post-marital, in-marital counseling, yes. Because we don't have to leave them when they have just gotten married. So even in the marriage itself, we have to do it. Then, if you have, let's say, a challenge with your education, maybe your choice of subjects, career choices, and so on, I also do that.
Okay.
Because the main counseling work I did at the university covers all of that. Yes.
So, Mama, would you say counseling has now evolved into so many different aspects, or would you say that, and have we evolved along with it to make it more effective?
Yes. It's been like that outside Ghana.
Okay.
But in Ghana, it's now that we are
catching up.
Yes, and accepting counseling as part of our
culture and way of life.
Yes.
Okay.
And those who really go through it are benefiting. Yes. They benefit a lot. Because counseling is not advice giving.
Right.
Even though once in a while we have to advise. But it's a matter of giving you choices, options, for you to select which one best suits your situation.
Right.
Because what may suit you may not suit another person.
Okay.
So this is why we don't advise, do this, do that.
Right.
No. You need to do 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
When you do 1, this is how you end up. When you do 2, this is
how you
that's
end up.
it.
So the
And so
individual-
check yourself, because
Right.
for every counseling, you have to know who you are.
Right.
Checking to know who you are.
Okay.
Then you will know which choice to make.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Mama, now having known this bit about you, let's talk about your new role as
Okay.
senior presbyter. How do we proceed?
Well, I've also been a presbyter before.
Right. In the
I've
same
served,
congregation.
yes, this congregation. I've served 2 terms already.
Oh, Mama.
So that makes it 8
Oh my
years.
God, all rounder.
So with this 4 years, I'm going to serve for 12 years.
For 12 years.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I believe wherever the old session left off, we should see what is left behind to be done, and then we find strategies to accomplish it. Because it's our prayer that the church moves forward. Yes. So this is what we will be doing.
So there you have it. She is coming from a family of teachers. She has been singing perhaps since the day she was born. She joined the Hope congregation in 1993. She has been singing with the choir since then. She has been very instrumental in the growth of the church and also that of the Most Holy Trinity congregation. She has been a counselor, and she is a mother of 5 strong boys, I believe. And I'm pretty sure there are some grandchildren along the way as well. And at this point, we'll go back to Mama and ask her final words, both to the congregation as a whole and to the team she's going to work with. And perhaps she has a single prayer she wants to ask for the Lord as she goes, she journeys through these 4 years as the senior presbyter. Mama.
Thank you. My main request is that of prayer from the congregants as well as the team with which I'm going to work. I request that you all support us in prayer. When we go wrong, don't hesitate to point things out to us, but do so in love. So that, yes, we are human beings. We may err. So prompt us in love. And then I think we will be put back on the right track. It's our prayer that Hope Congregation moves forward.
Thank you very much, Mama.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again.
God bless you.
There you have it. Mrs. Patience Arthur-Badoo asks us that we should pray, that we should be one, and that where we find fault or we find issues that we need to point out to them, we should do so in love. It is from us as a team. We pray and hope that we all as a congregation, and in fact the entire Presbyterian Church of Ghana, can come together in unity and in prayer, support the leadership of the church to the service of our Lord. Thank you very much, Mama. And until next time, we hope to bring you more insight into how far her work has gone. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you.